Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers send aid materials to flood victims in Myanmar. We explore the topic of boarding institutions for adults with mental and physical disability. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee-Shioda. Thank you for joining us. July to September is the rainy season in Myanmar. Recently, in 3 areas in the country, floods have occurred. Tzu Chi volunteers went to distribute rice, cooking oil, daily necessities, and emergency cash to the flood survivors.
Children and adults are waiting patiently. They are waiting for the Tzu Chi volunteers in this car.
We saw the flood disasters on TV, and when we were on our way to come here, we also saw a lot of water on the street. When we left home, we felt uncomfortable because it was raining. But I have to face a very big challenge. I'm glad that we came to donate supplies to them so they can cook for themselves.
There are rice, cooking oil, and daily necessities. Besides receiving help, the residents also take action to help others.
The floods this year are not as serious as last year's, but houses in low-lying areas are flooded, so we've established a temporary shelter. During the floods, affected residents do not have any income, so Tzu Chi's donations can help them overcome their problems temporarily.
We've lived here for 14 days. When the floods occurred in the morning, Dad rushed here to bring me and the kids out. I'm really happy, but I don't know how to express my appreciation.
The rainy season has caused a lot of calamities in many areas in Myanmar. Tzu Chi goes to Bago again to continue their love by giving out rice seeds and mung beans to the people in need.
In Mozambique of Nhamatanda District's 5th tribal village, 6 family homes collapsed after Cyclone Idai. Among them was solitary senior who has been sleeping in his home for the past 5 months. Recently, a bunch of local young volunteers came together to help the senior rebuild his home. After Cyclone Idai, Joao Kankulasa's home fell over. In the past 5 months, he's had to climb to enter his home.
It's very difficult getting into my house.
79-year-old Kankulasa lives alone. He never got married and lives on government subsidy. Local volunteers began digging by hand using the construction materials Tzu Chi gave to help Kankulasa rebuild his home. Separating the task yet working together, the local villagers come together to build a home for someone else for the 5th time.
I'm a victim myself and have received the construction pack. I'm happy to see the finished house so the old man can live better.
This is my first time building a home, and it's for someone else. Being a part of volunteer work is both an honor and a privilege.
I want to thank Master Zhen Yan and Tzu Chi. I'm grateful lots of volunteers from Maputo are here to help. By doing things for others, I also feel happy.
Seeing this group of people work so hard in helping him, Kankulasa is moved.
I'm very happy. Thank you everyone for your work in building me a home so I may live here safely.
In an instant, it seems Kankulasa have gained a bunch of kids. Love and care is greater than blood.
I can get good night's sleep now.
This is the first time after Idai that Kankulasa has been able to walk into his home. For months, Guangdong Tzu Chi volunteers in China have been carrying out evaluations for this year's Winter Aid event. They went to Nojiang Town in Enping City in July, which is the hometown of the first Tzu Chi volunteer in Venezuela. At the beginning of this year, she returned to visit with her husband and also introduced Tzu Chi to other town folks through tea gatherings.
Even though it is still the hot summer, Guangdong Tzu Chi volunteers have already begun their evaluations for winter distribution. A team of 112 people visit impoverished families in Niujiang Town in Enping City.
这里面是什么？里面放多少衣服？这2个毯子而已啊。哦，都是空的。哦，都是空的。
Chen Tianmei is paralyzed and is looked after by her eldest daughter. A volunteer with the same experience gives her well wishes.
Your mom is fortunate to have you. I know how you feel because of your mom's condition. My mom is also paralyzed like her, but we also look after her mindfully. So I know the hardship a caregiver must endure.
In this family, the mother of the family cannot stop her tears when she sees the volunteers. It turns out that her son left China to work, but he returned home recently because of his illness. However, his condition is not controllable, so the volunteers try to console the mother.
Your son's sickness is only temporary, so it will become better. You must take care of your son. If you don't feel sad, he won't feel sad. Your two minds are linked together. If you are so sad, he will be so sad too. And when he is so sad, he can't recover.
This is the hometown of Tzu Chi volunteer Wu Ruanyun, who is the first Tzu Chi volunteer in Venezuela. She wants to plant Tzu Chi in her hometown, so she also invited many local people to join this evaluation.
Chi Chi's human care is especially good. In addition to your financial and material assistance, it also gives care to care recipients in a comprehensive manner. Chi Chi accompanies them with mindfulness and love, letting them grow. This is very wonderful.
With good thoughts, you can exhibit great love even in any small matter. This is something that Tzu Chi has impressed me the most.
I hope to get more people of Enping City to do Chi Chi's work.
Speaking about her wish, Wu Ruanyun hopes to spread the seed of Tzu Chi in her hometown and inspire more people to join Tzu Chi and do good deeds.
In Taiwan, there are private institutions throughout the island that accepts adults with mental and physical disabilities. Though perhaps it may pain the parents to be separated from their children, they can at least receive some comfort in knowing their children are taken care of inside the institution.
你在干嘛？在干嘛？你在干嘛？你有没有乖？
Here at the care institution, this pair of father and son has not seen each other for over a month, as Ren Yijing was at home healing his broken leg from giving his son a bath.
救护车来家里，
When the ambulance came, I was carried down by the medic.
救护人员背下去的。那你那时候是不是想我的后续怎么办？那时候
Back then, his aunt was still visiting.
所以等于就是说，
So Hoxue has his aunt taking care of him.
Shortly after he was born, Hoxue was diagnosed with multiple disabilities and autism. From elementary to high school, Hoxue boarded at special education schools, but as he ages, he needed further arrangement. Over 10 years ago, Hoxue was accepted at the new Dawn Care Center in Hualien. They take in those with multiple disabilities and adults who have autism. The pair moved to the East Coast, and while the father could concentrate on his work, he still worries for his son.
因为我曾经问过人家，他们是讲就是说平均的寿命，他们差不多在。
I've asked someone and they said, on average, they live to their 40s. Of course, these are not numbers I can predict, but it's an average which is based on data that has been collected. Under this type of circumstances, I can only prepare and take care of myself.
先把自己照顾好。
The Ministry of Welfare estimates that beginning in 2002, those 45 and over with disabilities increases on average 5.5% each year. Currently, over 1/4 of the approximately 1 million people with disabilities are considered to be mid to old age, which means over 25,000 people need care, and it's challenging the care system.
像社政、医疗
Like social affairs, medical care, even the police agency, we hope to build this network up where all the families that need help can be heard.
把这些家庭能够通报出来。
The Ministry of Welfare launched a network to support families with disabilities who have aging parents, with nursing care institutions as an option. In the past, those with autism often lack institutions to accept them during their adult ages and could only live with parents. But when the parents are gone, no one is there to take care of them. They are often misunderstood as mental health patients and are forced to live in mental institutions.
Family members might experience problems in taking care of them. Most of the problems are emotional related. For example, they might scream really loud to where neighbors might complain, or often without outside education. The family members just let them get their way, and in the end, they become a big burden for family members to take care of.
Hualien's New Dawn Care Center is one of the few care institutions in Taiwan that has an all-day care service for those with autism. The students stay at the institution during the week and goes home with their family during the weekend. Sometimes, due to family circumstances, the students end up calling the institution home for a while.
可能第二的监护人或者是第二代的监护人。
Maybe if the guardian next in line doesn't want to take on responsibility, then we will ask the parents to give up guardianship through the courts. After approval, the local government will gain guardianship for the child.
相对他的监护的单位就会变成是地方政府。
Perhaps it's because they miss their family, the residents of the care center grabbed the reporter's arm and kept calling him Dad. The tensome adult students with autism keeps the beds of the New Dawn Care Center full. Due to the insufficient patient beds to meet the needs of Taiwan, the care center continues to seek donations to expand their services. Advanced cell therapy is one of the strengths of the Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center. Recently, staff of the center traveled to the Philippines to introduce such treatments to help those suffering from stroke, spinal cord injury, knee joint degeneration, and advanced cancer. Here's more.
After 20 years, heart is the #1 sales treating incurable oncology diseases.
The Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital held a special international forum on advanced cell therapy at the Tzu Chi Great Love Eye Center in the Philippines. The event attracted many local physicians and experts to attend.
We still need to have really evidence-based studies that this can be applied. So for Cardinal Santos, we like to know more about bone marrow transplant. Okay, so that's I would want to know here for the other cell therapies.
2019 was the first year that cell therapy can be practiced in Taiwan. The research team led by Lin Xinzong already has 30 years of experience in this field, with stem cells being applied to many departments such as ophthalmology, surgery, internal medicine, and other areas. All this knowledge has been shared in the Philippines.
Tzu Chi in Taiwan is the third group to be approved to use stem cells and immune cells. Today, many have arrived here, all these Philippine experts and even some patients. So today was very successful.
For stem cells, it's something new to the Philippines. It's not a widespread. I'm sure that this will help the Filipinos a lot.
This international medical forum also attracted Taiwanese biotech companies in the hopes of creating higher-level medical exchange in the Philippines, further practicing the vision of medicine without borders.
Tzu Chi's free clinics in Taiwan or abroad are often conducted in remote areas, and there is a team of volunteers who are in charge of setting up. They are also very creative in minimizing the equipment for easy transportation.
In less than half an hour, these volunteers have assembled one mobile dental clinic office. They are nicknamed MacGyver.
Let me try its function. Seeing the brothers putting together a mobile dental office, I feel the brothers are very mindful.
The free clinic on this day is to treat older residents with mental disabilities in this nursing home. The working volunteers must be prepared for anything unexpected. It turns out that there is a leak in the tube, so the volunteer replaces the tube quickly, in just a few minutes, without delaying the dentist's work.
People from the tubing team should have spare parts ready. If something breaks down, we must replace them immediately.
They fixed the problem very quickly. You don't see that in the clinic.
There are tubing volunteers everywhere in Taiwan. They follow Tima on holidays and weekends to serve the public in remote areas or institutions. These volunteers have also invented this set of mobile dental equipment to be carried in this briefcase. They are light and complete in function.
There's one dental cleaning machine, one transformer, one lamp, one dental handpiece. We also put in one LED light.
For 23 years, Tima members have gone to every part of the world. These wiring and tubing volunteers are always the first to arrive and the last to leave because they want every free clinic to be perfect.
Next, we meet Luo Shufen, who is an associate professor of nursing at the Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology, and she was awarded the 2019 Excellent Teachers Award.
Whether it's playing basketball or just goofing around with these students, this instructor is like a big doll. Luo Shufen is an associate professor of nursing at Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology. She is always able to mingle easily with children. From 2013, she took students into rural areas over the holiday to care for children from the Lunshan tribal village in Hualien and the Lidao tribal village in Taidong.
Many children in these tribal villages are talented and very smart. They just lack some opportunities to learn. On the one hand, they need people to accompany them. They also need some of the art supplies or the technology that we bring to help cultivate them with a different type of learning.
No credits and no volunteer hours attributed to this work, and still TCUST students are willing to do this service for tribal communities. They do this so they can learn to communicate with different age groups, also learn from others and encourage themselves to move forward.
I think she is a teacher who will help disadvantaged groups. Doing this for me can increase my own attitude and sense of responsibility, helping me communicate with others and potentially leading the way.
Trying various kinds of teaching, Luo Shufen also took students to understand patients' needs. Her research even won her a patent. From here, the most important thing is to implement knowledge in the community or at home, thereby practicing the core value of nursing.
Nursing is giving to others and a love for people. When students come to these tribal communities, they are able to learn more. When the people from these local tribes get sick, they will be able to better understand their environment and will be able to do more appropriate instruction.
Leaving the classroom to give nursing students a multifaceted approach to learning is one of the reasons why Luo Shufen won the 2019 Excellent Teacher Award. She continues to uphold a people-oriented approach to healthcare and education.
Recently, a Jingsi youth camp took place in Taiwan. In addition to the excellent courses and lectures, there was a rich vegetarian meal for participants at noon. The camp impressed many of the attendees who expressed an interest in attending the event again next year.
Many are laughing as some people drop their phones to the floor. This was a true test of balance and skill, which can also help treat shoulder and neck pain.
Other joints may compensate, so you have to use your spine and your waist, so the whole body is more flexible. In the future, you may even just be able to move your shoulder joint.
可能只要动你的肩关节就好了。
我们煎的大概就是这样，双面焦黄就好了。这还要再一下子。
In the morning, the kitchen was full of excitement as 300 veggie burgers are being cooked. The person responsible for all of these handmade burgers is Kaohsiung Tzu Chi volunteer Guo Chunling.
We start with tofu, which is crumbled, and then add some oatmeal plus walnuts, and it is stirred evenly with some Italian spices. This is how we make such appealing burgers.
It feels light and tasty, and there is a feeling of nuts and cereals inside. Yes, it does not taste like other vegetarian burgers.
At the noontime meal, everyone is eating healthy, and even these colorful cakes are nutritious.
好，就这样搓。
搓到那个不会有颗粒状。对。
The raw materials are all Jingse multigrain instant mix, which saves on other ingredients such as oil and sugar.
In fact, it can be eaten like this. Yes, you can eat it just like this. You don't need to add anything extra. Our black-brown rice powder has a lot of color and can make this pastry. It can be used for rice cake and mochi.
Two-day camp helped purify the mind and body of many participants. Entertaining lectures also enriched the spirit of many students.
In the future, I will definitely attend this event.
Also about Tzu Chi's Learning Camp, the 2019 Tzu Chi All-American English Volunteers Camp was held in New Jersey, with the goal being spreading Tzu Chi's spirits and the Buddha's teachings in English more precisely in the United States.
Tzu Chi has been in the United States for 30 years. The volunteers first used Chinese to let people know the origin of Tzu Chi. When the volunteers started to use English to promote Tzu Chi, they want the foundation to take root. The 2019 English-speaking volunteers camp is held in New Jersey.
Enriched by awakened heart from one person at a time. But this is what the master had taught us. She said that if the USA does not awaken, there's no chance for peace in the world. And if we are going to bring peace to the world, what do?
Our theme is the four magic soup, which are contentment, gratitude, understanding, and tolerance for them to discuss and experience.
You just don't know my taste.
Don't talk to me like this. Show some gratitude.
Hi, would you like to try some of the soup?
The volunteers exemplify the Tzu Chi spirit as the four magic soup. The staff applies it in the preparation and execution.
The class content team is made up of Zijings who have graduated or some young people, because we hope these young people who were born and grew up here are able to introduce some American local course contents and ways for interactions.
Whether the courses involve video conferencing with people in Taiwan or Tzu Chi volunteers sharing their experiences, they are spreading the seed of Tzu Chi among the new local volunteers, who will be able to know Tzu Chi better and carry out Tzu Chi missions.
At the end of our program, we join the onstage volunteers of Malaysia as they rehearse for the sutra adaptation of Profound Gratitude to Parents to be performed in Kelantan. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.